Sammy, thank you again for agreeing to speak to us. My first question to you is, how has the procurement function crept into the list of responsibilities of a CFO?
It's been a natural evolution, I would say. It happened gradually. About 20 years ago, the focus of the function was primarily on the direct materials, and the procurement function reported rightfully into productions or into the operations person. And I think what happened is gradually we expanded and started to cover more of the indirect spend. It was broader by nature, and it needed a new home. Some were working at visibility into the budgets, become part of the planning process, actually get some teeth also because we're looking at compliance and covering a broader scope. And I think it naturally evolved, and it makes sense to actually get this within the CFO's shop.
What initiative do you think CFOs can take to drive an efficient cost-based management, as well as to drive productivity in the overall business?
I think it's a great question. It's something that I've seen done and I've personally researched for the last 4 years. And it's something that, as a strategy, the approach is called total cost-based management. And it's looking at essentially driving the cost of the company not as incremental or separate components, internal, external, and whatnot, but actually all together depending on business needs. So it's something where you put together productivity functions, you put things like procurement, offshoring and outsourcing, you put Lean Six Sigma. All of these are very often owned by the CFO, and it's something that I think his sponsorship and leadership can be really helpful in driving this. And it makes for a more comprehensive end-to-end solution, which I think can be a lot more powerful and offer more sustainable returns.
Practically, how does a company go about implementing a total cost-based management strategy?
It's a really straightforward process. It's got a beginning, it's got an end. I think it takes about a year roughly from experience and also from what we're developing. The first step is to create the productivity strategy, make sure that it's aligned with the company plans, the company goals, and from that you have an operating model. Second step is that you take the productivity enablers and you integrate them together. Again, the ones that I mentioned before, such as procurement, Lean Six Sigma, and offshoring and outsourcing. The third step is that you actually start to operate this like a complete unit, like a new department, which becomes a seamless process. And once you've got this, there's 2 things left to do. One is make sure that it fits correctly within the organization. So we're looking at change management, removing obstacles, getting acceptance from users, and so they know how to utilize it. And the last one is making sure you've got the capabilities to drive it. We're looking, in some cases, at a new breed of talent. We're looking at a higher level of position within the organization and someone who's got broader leadership standards as well. So all in all, it's relatively comprehensive. And again, the CFO can really help drive that and put it together.